right, it is 6 p.m. We do have quorum. I'm going to go ahead and call this evening's meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals for the City of Florence to order. First items on this evening agenda is the approval of the minutes from the March 26, 2026 meeting. Minutes have been submitted to members of the board for ample time for review. Are there any changes or amendments that need to be made? There being none, do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The minutes are approved. Next item on this evening's agenda is BZA hearing number 2026-08. Request for a variance for the minimum lot width requirement for new parcels. Location is 900 Rose Street, tax map number 90115-07-001. Owner of record is Timothy Waters and Crystal Page. The applicant is Anthony McFadden. The zoning district is Neighborhood Conservation 6.2. The board will now hear from city staff.
Good evening, everybody. Only one case today.
Yay.
So this is a request for a variance for the minimum lot width and the total square footage required for new parcels in the NC 6.2 district. As you can see, this is a corner lot on Rose Street and Maxwell Street. It's an empty lot of record in the NC 6.2 district. The parcel has an area of 16,552 square feet with 162 feet of frontage along Maxwell Street. As you can see, this is a lot that is way larger than what's surrounding in the neighborhoods around the lot. And the proposal from the applicant is to subdivide the lot into 3 new lots to be able to build a single family detached home in each of the new lots. The zoning map, as you can see, most of it is residential. It's NC 6.2, 6.3, and 6.1 around the lot. And we also have some recreation parts and campus. But it's mainly residential. The future land use stays the same, residential NC districts. And this is the tables from our UDO development standards. So you can see the requirements for the new lots in the district is 6,000 square feet minimum and 60 feet width. After the applicant subdivides the lot into 3 lots, he is going to need a variance because the 3 new lots are not going to have the 6,000 square feet in total. They're going to have 5,517 square feet, which is he is 8% short of the total square foot requirement. And you can see there as well the minimum lot width is 60 feet and he will only have 54 feet, which means that he'll be 10% short to meet the requirement. This is kind of like what he's proposing there. As you can see, it's not going to be on the Rose Street side. It's going to be on the Maxwell Street side, the frontage. And the lots surrounding this parcel are usually smaller than 6,000 square feet total. Even though the requirement calls for 6,000 square feet, most of them are range between 5,000 and all the way to 7,000. So there are some that do meet the requirement, but a lot of them don't meet the requirement. Same thing with the width. If you can see, it kind of shows there. You can kind of see already the lots are like wider than the ones across the street. So some of the lots are longer, but they're very narrow. And from the street side, these new lots won't be long lots, but that won't affect the view from the street. Let's see. And we have some issues to be considered. This district allows not only single family houses, but it also allows duplexes. So if the applicant were not to be granted the variance, he is allowed to subdivide the lot into 2 lots, and one would be big enough to build a duplex in one of them. So he will build a duplex in one and a single family home in another one, which is out of character for these neighborhoods because they're all single family homes surrounding this parcel. And like I was describing, the lots in the surrounding neighborhoods are much smaller than the required by the UDO. Sorry, I went one too far. These are some site pictures, and as you can see, it's the corner lot there and the frontage of Rose Street and Maxwell Street. And that concludes staff report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for city staff or members of the board? I think it's Cindy, you had a question?
I do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so do you know, is that a plan if we don't approve for the 3 that he's planning to do, the 2 and the duplex?
Yes.
That's his plan? With the 3, do you know he plan to do those single family homes? Are those to be sold or rented?
To my knowledge, if he does build the duplex, that would possibly be a rental. But if he builds the single family homes, it'll be a homeowner.
And you said, because I think currently the address is on the Rose Street side, but if he was to build it, it would become the Maxwell Street side. Is that correct?
Yes. And he would have to adhere to the requirements for he will have to meet the setbacks for that district, which he does have room for with a smaller lot.
Are we at the board allowed to approve with contingency of it being 2 residential homes instead of a residential and a duplex? We can't. Oh.
Yeah, she's already allowed.
It's already allowed to
Yeah.
do duplex and the single.
Good question.
So I have a question.
Go, Greg.
With them being smaller lots, and he's already at a disadvantage. What size homes are these single family homes supposed to be? Like how many square feet are they supposed to be?
Yeah, we don't have the plans for them per se, but typical square footage for, based on some of the homes we the city have been building in the area, range anywhere from 1,200 square feet to 1,500 square feet. I would, and this is just an assumption, but I would assume that he's probably looking at putting a smaller home on that site. But we, the city, on similar size lots and even 50-foot wide lots, that are about the same size as that. We've been able to fit anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 square foot homes on them pretty easily. Yeah.
And that's that 50-foot width.
Yeah, these would, I think, would be, 54 foot. So.
And what square footage was the city constructing these homes?
These were on 50-foot wide lots. We've gotten, 12 to 1,500 square feet on those size lots.
What was the total square footage or the depth?
Around 6,000.
Around
real
6,000,
close to
they're about
where we
comparable.
are now. Yep.
Right.
And of course, I doubt he would do this. It'll probably be single story, but we've even built larger homes on when you go up
Off of,
inside. But I would guess that these would be single story homes, kind of made a little bit more affordable for the area here. So, yeah.
And those double-story homes, are they around Wilson, around that
Yeah, there's
area?
some on Vista that we've built
Yeah,
that are
great.
2-story. They're just around the corner from these actually. That look quite nice, and they're 2 stories, and they're a little larger homes. But then over on Pine Street, we've been building some homes on similar sized lots that are around 1,400, 1,500 square foot.
And they're single stories on Pine
Single
Street?
stories on Pine, yeah.
Well, let me ask you, with some of the setbacks, with the width of the homes, how much lot on each side of the home are they getting?
It's 5 feet,
Yeah.
right?
5 feet.
It's a
The
5 foot
second table.
5 foot setback on the side, so
And they fall within that?
Yeah.
Okay.
they'd have to follow. They'd have to.
Okay,
Or
so
they'd be
basi-
back to you.
Yeah, so do they have a site plan so we wouldn't have to revisit that to make sure that they are at the minimum setback as well as the street side and?
They haven't provided any site plans, but if they were granted the variance, they have to meet the setbacks, or we wouldn't
Or
allow.
they'll be back here like you, yeah.
That's right. And
Just-
there are lots of house plans that can fit. That would give
Yeah.
them essentially 44 feet to work with. And there's lots of
Right,
house
yeah.
plans that fit on that size lot. Yeah.
Just to clarify, and I think it'd be visual for the board, can you pull back up attachment E? I'm sorry. It'd be the one that shows the lot divided, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to see for members of the board, but if you guys can look at that, essentially what he's doing is he's looking to mirror those 3 lots like 2 immediate below it on Maxwell Street. Obviously the 3rd one on the bottom is a bigger lot, but that's what he's looking at doing. And there are smaller lots in that neighborhood that do have houses on there already, that are kind of up from Maxwell Street.
They just have a deeper dip.
Right, right.
Like 708, 710 there.
Sure.
About that size.
Yeah, that's essentially what he's looking to do. And of course, our focus right now is whether or not to approve turning 1 into 3 lots with a variance for the square footage and the width. And like Mr. Poston was pointing out, there are no site plans available for us to look at, so whatever site plans he proposes will have to meet city standards, and if they don't, he'll come back to us. But that's cart before the horse kind of thing.
And Chairman Tuning brought up a very important detail as far as the variance request. I know it states the minimum lot width, which needs to be 60, but he's at 54 and he's asking a variance for that. Now also he needs a variance as well for the square footage.
Correct.
For the minimum, so this is going to be for 2. He's asking
Yes,
for 2
he's
variance
asking for
questions.
both variances.
And it's
Thank you,
not-
Mr. Chairman. Making that clear.
And do you think he would need to be here for us to make sure, so we wouldn't have to have that problem of him coming back?
Well, no, because it's already written into the
Okay.
The-
The overall,
right,
we're
yeah,
going
yeah.
today.
So
Okay.
whatever site
Okay.
plans he submits, we don't have to tell him to do that.
It's going
I'm sure the city will be glad to slap his hand and
Yeah.
tell him to come back for us. But this is a 2-for-1 deal
Okay.
for the variance request. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
Before any construction takes place, he'll have to come through zoning and get, the first step would be him recording this plat. So based on y'all's decision, if you decided in favor of this, he would come and record the plat and get the lots divided. And then he would have to come back to us with house plans on a plot plan showing that they meet the required setbacks, any stormwater concerns we might have, you'd have to do anything like that. And then we could approve it from a zoning standpoint, and then he'd have to submit to the building department to get all the building plans approved. So this is kind of the step before all the steps, to get this done, so he can construct homes.
How long has this lot been vacant as it sits today?
I'm not sure.
Did it ever even have a house previously, or
It did.
as far as record, it did?
I believe that Derek said that he,
Okay.
yeah, there used to be a
A long
house.
time ago, yeah. But it was one house on the lot, and it was facing Rose Street.
Okay.
Was it a fairly big house, or?
It was pretty big. It was a
Pretty big.
nice size house.
And the city has a demolition program where we work with homeowners for some of the dilapidated homes, and this, I'd have to look back, but this could have been part of that, where we demolished one of the homes, and, with the goals of redeveloping it for single-family homes.
So what we're doing today would sit exactly in the plan the city has for this type area, as well as the Greater Florence as well.
Very, very much. It's a private development, so we don't have as much control over it, but we are encouraging private developers to come build homes in the neighborhood, absolutely.
Has there been any phone calls or anything as far as
We haven't
disagreeing?
received any complaints from the neighbors at all.
Thank you.
Any other questions for city staff or members of the board? All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The board will now hear from the applicant. Anthony McFadden is not present.
We try to reach to him,
Okay.
and we couldn't get a hold of him.
Okay.
Is the applicant, is he actually the builder, or?
I believe so.
Have we received anything from Mr. McFadden or Mr. Waters or Ms. Page? Okay. All right. Is there anybody who wishes to be heard either for or against this variance request? All right. There being none, the chair will now entertain a motion to either approve or deny the variance request. And just as a reminder, this variance request will encompass both the square foot variance and the width variance in one.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the two variants as stated.
Go ahead, Mr.
Based
Poston.
upon the following finding of facts.
Yes, sir.
A variance from the Unified Development Ordinance would not be contrary to the public interest, and owing to the special condition that the subject parcel is significantly larger than surrounding lots, a literal enforcement of the ordinance will result in an unnecessary hardship by unreasonably restricting the property from being subdivided in a manner consistent with the established neighborhood pattern of narrower, smaller lots, thereby limiting compatible infill development. The spirit of the Unified Development Ordinance will be observed, public safety and welfare secured, and substantial justice done, as the proposed lot sizes and widths are consistent with the established neighborhood pattern, will not create overcrowding or increase density beyond existing conditions, and will bring an oversized parcel into conformity with the prevailing character of the area. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the subject property, specifically that this is a significantly larger than surrounding lots, creating a unique condition that supports subdivision in a manner consistent with the existing neighborhood pattern. Number 4, these conditions do not generally apply to other properties in the vicinity, as the subject parcel is uniquely larger than the surrounding lots, while the majority of the properties in the area are already narrower and do not meet the current minimum lot width requirement. Number 5, that because of these conditions, the application of the Unified Development Ordinance to this particular property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property as follows. The application of the UDO would unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property by preventing subdivision into 3 single-family lots consistent with the neighborhood pattern and instead limiting development to a less compatible configuration such as a duplex and single-family structure. That the authorization of a variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property or to the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance, as the proposed lots and resulting single-family homes are consistent with the established pattern of narrow, deep lots and will establish an existing oversized parcel that is out of character with the neighborhood.
Thank you, Mr. Poston. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Singley. All those in favor of approving the variance request, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries. The variance request is approved. There are no items on this evening's agenda. Are there any announcements from city staff? All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion to adjourn.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you guys very much.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
night,
you, set a
everybody.
record on that one.
That was good. That was good.